So what I have here on my back is the Coalax Lancer300 modular backpack with power and magic arm. In fact, this has two magic arms. I just have one of them in use right now with the Insta360 X5, but there's another one over here too. What is a magic arm and what is the power with this? Let's take a look. The power station that's built into this provides 300 watt-hours of power, and it also allows for multi-device charging. As you can see here, we've got two standard USB ports, we've got two USB-C ports, and one of them is power delivery 60 watts, the other's power delivery 100 watts. So that obviously supports a lot of fast charging. And you also have some standard outlets here. So one of them is 3-prong and one is 2. So if you wanted to plug in something that takes an actual outlet cord, you could do that as well. And then when it comes to recharging this, there's a power adapter that comes with this where you can plug it in a normal outlet, but then you also have this option right here. So I have actually not used solar panels yet to charge it. However, these solar panels provide 25 watts of power for the input charging. If you were someplace far from power and civilization, this is very lightweight and easy to bring along. And to give you an idea of how much power is stored in here with the 300 watt-hours, you would be able to recharge cameras up to 15 times, drones up to 6 times, and a laptop 4 to 5 times. So there is a ton of power in there. And next, let's talk about the next feature that I consider unique about this, and that is the magic arm. So I've actually got two magic arms installed on here. And the first one right here, I have my Insta360 X5 on here. And then this one on this side, I don't have any cameras on it currently, but these magic arms can extend up to 1.5 meters. And the magic arms, they provide hands-free mounting for lights, cameras, or other accessories. And they have that universal 1/4-inch threaded interface, which is compatible with GoPros, phones, Insta360 cameras, DJI cameras, the Pocket 3, a whole bunch of cameras. Basically anything you can connect to that 1/4-inch threaded mount, either directly or via an adapter, you can connect to these. The next thing I really like about the Lancer300 is it has an exoskeleton frame, and the design of this is great for equipment protection, but also for modularity. That means you can connect and disconnect a whole bunch of things on here. And of course, what is a backpack without storage and capacity? So this one provides 35 liters total, and that is spread out between 3 different main compartments. You have the top pack right here, then you have the bottom one down here, and the bottom one extends over into the main one, which goes to the back here, which also has a laptop compartment, which I'm currently keeping my iPad in there. So let me show you what I have inside here. So first of all, in this top compartment, this is where I keep my DJI Air 3S drone and controller. So inside here, it fits nicely right there. And then I've got my controller right here. And then in this top compartment right here, this is where I decided to keep my USB-C charging cables. So I've got about 3 of those in there, which I of course use to charge my drone, but then I'll show you what else I charge them with. And of course, currently on the one magic arm, I have the Insta360 X5 right here. And then the other magic arm, which I showed you how high it extends, up to the 1.5 meters. So that can almost give you that drone type of perspective when you're walking if you mount a camera up here, because the camera is gonna be way higher than the pack. It's gonna be above your head when you're wearing it. I'll extend this one up as well. So if we spin the camera around here, just to give you an idea, this is with the pack on the ground right now, and this is me standing behind these. So I'm obviously a little bit on the downhill side here, but to give you an idea, this is like right at head level there. So it is quite high. And then let me show you what else I store in here. So in the back compartment here, I've got to find my zipper. There it is. So in the back here, first of all, what I have down in here is I have my iPad. My iPad, of course, is inside a case. It fits easily in there. I could also fit my 14-inch MacBook Pro down in there with no problems. So I've got that in there. And then over here on this side, I've got my Sony a7R IV, which is my photography camera. And I've got the Sony f1.8 85mm lens on here. So I like to have this along anytime I want to do some photography. I currently have it partitioned into a couple different spots here, so I can customize those partitions for how my stuff fits best in here. And then over on this side, we're gonna talk about this in a moment. This is really cool for shooting videos and photos outside. But what I have back here currently is I have the DJI Osmo Action 6, and I have it inside this metal aluminum case from Tellison. Great case. I featured that in one of my recent videos for my favorite accessories for the Action 6, and I really love this case. And then I also have an extra battery down in here for my Sony cameras. So this one is my Sony NP FC100 battery, which is compatible with this camera and also with the camera I'm recording on. So in addition to carrying a ton of camera gear, what I've got here is one of my favorite photography and video accessories that I own. And this is the Zhiyun Molus X100 compact video light. And this thing is super cool. This is an incredibly powerful light. It's so powerful, it's got this fan on it. And I'm gonna show you this thing powered on in a moment. And I just love how it looks. I love the color on it. I love the design. It's just a really well-built product for shooting when you need a light out in the field. So let's talk about some key specs with this. First of all, it is a 100-watt RGB LED light, but it only weighs about 385 grams. So it's got that nice palm-sized pocket design. Fits in the hand. And it maxes out at 3,110 lux at full power without a reflector. But if you have a mini lens reflector, which is equivalent to 300 to 500 watts of professional cinema light, this maxes out at 12,600 lux. And this light features a wide CCT range. It goes from 2,700K all the way up to 10,000K for the temperature. So you can get a lot of different lighting temperatures there to match whatever you need. And then it has very high color accuracy. It's got that CRI of 95 and that TLCI of 97. And it of course features the full RGB color spectrum with key light level brightness. And this does have an optional detachable grip battery, which has a 55 watt hour capacity. I don't currently own this, but I think I need to invest in it. When it comes to cooling and design, this cooler has the Dynavort technology for exceptional performance and noise-free heat dissipation. When you're doing video shoots, you definitely don't want this to be making noise, and that fan runs nice and quiet. And when it comes to mounting, this light has a dual mounting system. It can use the ZY mount, which is custom, or it can use the more common Bowens mount. So the Bowens mount is very common and it's highly compatible, which means you can use this with a lot of Bowens mount compatible accessories. In addition, it's compatible with the Zhiyun X series accessories, such as the mini 4-leaf barn door, the mini diffuser, the spotlight, and several of their soft boxes. So if you own any of these, this is gonna work with those. And of course, as I mentioned before, it does include that mini lens reflector right here. And that's gonna give you enhanced brightness and even light distribution. So far in my shoots outside, I've just used it with this and it's been incredible. I have not needed to add anything else to it. And when it comes to some of the smart features on here, it does have Bluetooth networking with wireless control. It also has a live mode for special atmosphere creation. So it's one day later and I brought along an assistant today. You'll see her in a moment. But I brought along my daughter and we're gonna take some pictures with that RGB light. And I'm going to show you just how useful it can be on a day like today where it's really overcast. There's not a lot of great natural lighting. And we're gonna want some of that lighting, especially on her face for photos. So here's how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because it's really nice.
So I'm going to, first of all, mount this light on one of these magic poles right here. This has a 1/4" 20 mount on the bottom.
And then you can take a picture from this.
That's right, then I can take a picture of you. So
what's this?
we're gonna mount it right here. We're gonna have the light facing in that direction for now. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to plug in the power cord. We're gonna make sure this light stays powered so that it's at full capacity here. So we're gonna plug this in right here. Now that I've got it plugged in, we're gonna power this on and we're gonna turn on our light. It's drawing 101 watts of power because I put it all the way to 100% for the brightness. Now it probably does not need to be on 100% brightness, but just to demonstrate how much power it could draw from the power station if needed. And then if we swing around to this side, that's our light right there. Incredibly bright at 100. I'm gonna get my daughter over here for the photo and we're gonna see. But I need to grab out my camera here first. Got my Sony a7R IV right here. Let's see how our lighting is. Let's do a test shot. Can you say cheese? Okay, ready? Say cheese, smile. And by the way, currently I've got the light temperature set to 5600K to kind of match that daytime lighting. But if I wanted to adjust that to be a little bit warmer, I can do that by turning the adjustment knobs right here. I'm gonna turn down the light brightness to about 65. And then we're gonna go down here and I'm gonna put the light temperature to 3800K. Kind of want a warm light there. Make it a little bit warmer and cheerier.
Hi, Daddy.
All right, now we're gonna move this lighting a little bit. We're gonna move it down here. There you go. Keep your eyes open. So I really ended up liking this lighting here with it at about 65% for the brightness. And I put it down to 3600K. I wanted that real warm amber. And you can see when I put the brightness down, we're only drawing about 66 watts of power now. That battery's got plenty of time left. And if you look close here, the light was making a nice shadow on her face there with the hood. And this is what the light looks like, but it's really nice on a day like today. It kind of adds that nice warm glow. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do not see this.
So if you'd like to check out the backpack or the video light, I'll link to both of them in the description below. And if you'd like to learn more about some cool photo and video gear that I use, check out this playlist right here.